Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Finally, these guys are realizing and allowing the information to trickle down to us. And that is, the media operatives in the West tell us that actually a club is forming over there. Did you know that? Well, I've been saying this for at least 2 years, that this garbage in Ukraine triggered Russia to take its gloves off and tell the other guys, all right, guys, you want to destroy us? We are going to show you how we really are if you just step on our cocks. So the media covered that, and they try to, maybe in a few weeks, Russia will be destroyed. Therefore, we don't have to report on this. Unfortunately, Russia did not collapse. Unfortunately for the planners, did not collapse. Was not isolated. On the contrary, this monolithic so-called West is isolating itself from the rest of the world. And I'm going to show you a few a few articles here to make the point where we have that the Westerners are panicking that a new club is forming. And the question is why? Why? Remember, like in any relationship that crumbles, it's not only one side's fault, it's both sides. We're supposed to look at this one as being only the bad people being bad and the good people being good. It's not like that. So many times, all the times, actions have consequences. Now, the consequences could be positive or negative or a mixture. So in Germany, you have the alternative für Deutschland, right? And they say, what the hell is this? This is extremism. But that is a reaction to something. What is that you did that caused this reaction? In the United States of America, oh, that's Trump. Well, why do we have Trump? That's a reaction to something. The same garbage, actually. The same thing in France. Marine Le Pen, she's a reaction of something. In the European Union, you have a lot of, they call them populists or far right. It's a you have Geert Wilders in the Netherlands. Why is that? That's a reaction. All these, and they say, no, we didn't do anything. We didn't do anything. They're just bad over there. They just woke up in the morning, and somehow people, because of propaganda, just are idiots. Well, it's not like that. Your actions have had consequences. These are the consequences of your garbage actions. So now on the global scale, let me show you how the so-called monolithic West is panicking. Business Insider. More countries are openly flaunting their ties with Putin. They say it's just business. So those countries are still afraid. Remember, this comes from Business Insider. It's not coming from Sputnik. So they are saying that the countries are still afraid to say, you know what, we like what Russia does and China. We like them. No, they're saying, no, we're just business, doing just business. They're afraid. Why? Because I will show you, if you cross the boss, the self-appointed boss, which is Al Capone, obviously, then he's going to impose sanctions on you. He's going to try a regime change, and maybe he's going to start bombing you. So let's read this article. I have about 8 articles ready to discuss on this topic. So, Russian President Vladimir Putin is meeting leaders from China, India, Vietnam, and Indonesia amid heavy sanctions. Who imposed sanctions? Is it the United Nations that imposed sanctions, or it is one country that imposed sanctions, or 2 countries? So remember, if I have a problem with the neighbor and I impose sanctions on you, on everybody else who don't do business with that tells you that I'm kind of like in charge here. But they also tell us that we are all equal. At the United Nations, all countries are independent and sovereign, and they are free to pursue their economic and whatever aspirations they have. That's not true. I am in charge, and I'm going to fuck you up if you don't do what I tell you, unless you are a big one, and I'm kind of afraid to get in touch with you straight. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have my weasels to start poking you. And when you hit them, I'm going to say, hey, wait, I'm going to support you. Can hit you, you cannot hit me back. You can hit my imbeciles, but not me. Or useful idiots, however you want to call them. Russia seeks to end diplomatic isolation. That's a lie. Russia was never isolated. Now, if you consider isolation like this, let's say you and I, we go to a party, and over there is a party of about 194, right? And we go to this party, let's say we're about 40 guys. We're 40 guys going to a party, and all together we are 194 guys, girls, whatever, people at the party. And I say, guys, let's isolate this guy over there, one of the guys. And I tell all this about 40 guys, we are isolating the rest. So you just do a little bit of arithmetics, mathematics, how you want to call it, and you say 194, right, minus, let's say 40, you get about 150. So that's 150 that's isolated, but we are right here, 40. So who isolated who? We are 40, those guys are 150. All those countries, 194 countries are on this planet, or 93, 193, whichever you want. So give it like one country plus or minus. So you have 150 countries that Russia can do business and cannot do business with the ones that I tell them, I'm going to fuck you up if you do business with Russia. So we are here at the States of America with about 39 other countries, which is European Union, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, and Palau, maybe Micronesia, and Papua New Guinea and Paraguay, and that's it. That's about 40 countries. If you know 40 countries, and we isolated Russia, but Russia does business with the rest of 150. So this is garbage. They're not isolated, and I'm going to show you they're not isolated. On the contrary, the Russians are taking over Africa, South America, East Asia, and probably is going to break European Union as well. So let's see. Again, despite sanctions, Russia remains a key global economy and energy supplier. Yes, and it's the fourth economy, global economy. Fourth. It wasn't fourth. It was like the sixth. All right. So this is, and it says, so far, Putin has met top leaders from Asian countries, including China, India, Vietnam, Indonesia. That's plenty of publicity for a heavy sanctioned individual by the United States of America and its weasels, not the world. The world did not sanction Russia from a country facing sweeping trade restrictions by the same guys who think that they are in charge. So this is one. Now you know that Putin, went to Mongolia, and Mongolia is an International Criminal Court signatory, but it did not arrest Putin for obvious reason. It's about neutrality and the economy. So Mongolia said, "Oh, it's just about that. That's it. We just do business. We don't like them, but we do business." Turkey is another country that plays like that. Let's go to the next one to show you the panic. Russia Today. CIA and MI6 chiefs warn of threats to quote-unquote world order. Now, when they say world order, that is, we are in charge. There's a rule-based world order. We didn't give you the rules. Why? Because it's going to be too obvious that we're going to break whatever rules we want. But we're going to make sure that you don't break any. And if you break, we're going to use the four diplomatic tools that we have since 1991, which is threats, blackmail, regime change, and bombardment, attacks, invasion. So you make your choice, but you're free. You're free to choose, the same as, you're free to choose. Yeah, but if you do this, you do that, do this, do that, do that, well, that means I don't do shit. Anyway, so again, CIA, MI6. I wonder what the Romanian intelligence services says. Or I don't know, Pakistan's, or let's say Mongolia's, or Kyrgyzstan's, or Argentina's, or France, or no. We have these two. Why is it these two? Because that's the way the world order functions. That's as I used to say a long time ago, that's a plantation. United States of America is the master. Then, of the plantation, the house servant is Great Britain. And the rest are just outside slaves working at the sugarcane, cutting the sugarcane outside. France is the only one that sometimes brings the mail, from the mailbox to the house, to the master, and hoping that will stay a little bit here, linger here, and become a house or a home house servant, not a plantation slave over there. But Great Britain is quick to send France back over there. Like, no, you can't be here. No, you can't be here. We're better than you, go. But you're still servants, But Great Britain, that's why you have CIA and MI6. MI6 is the house servant of the master, and the rest of the European Union, NATO member states, and other baboons are the plantation workers. Right? And these guys, world order, the world order they are talking about is the plantation. But there's a big world over there that doesn't want to be on the plantation. So they don't like this kind of nobody else says anything about it. Just these guys are just concerned. Why do you think they're concerned? Because we are more civilized? Do you think because we are better? Or we tell people what to do, otherwise we're going to apply the 4? I think so. All right, let's go to the next article. And this comes from Sputnik. US steps up pressure on Turkey over banking operations with Russia. Source. So, if you don't tell me the relationship. If you are able to tell someone, if you don't do what I tell you, I'm going to send you in your room to clean your room. So what's the relationship? Who's the subordinate here? You are. Because I can tell you that and I'm going to punish you. But you are free. Now, obviously here you're my child. I'm in control of you. Turkey is not US's child. US is not in control of Turkey on the paper. On the world order, it's supposed to be. Remember, Turkey is a NATO member state. That is a military alliance. Out of that, they can do what the fuck ever they want. Turkey can do business with whomever they want. They can trade with whomever. They can have whatever system they want to have. And elect whomever they want. No. Hold on. We sanction those guys. And if you don't listen to what we tell you to do, which is don't do business with them, and you do, that means we're going to hurt you somehow. So this is the way these guys function. And that's the world order these guys are crying about. Now remember, all the other 190, let's say, 2 countries don't cry, don't want this kind of world order. Some of them, like Great Britain, think like the house servant that they will a little bit better in the current circumstances than everybody else, but they're still servants. But the rest are outside and they say, wait a second, the plantation wants to get us in. And we don't. Why? Because we have options now, which is the club of the very good. All right, let's go back here and go to the next article. Reuters, China's Xi, Russia's Putin send greetings to North Korea's Kim Jong-un. Now, who brought those 3 guys together? You. Your policies, your so-called diplomatic endeavors. And now you're crying about it? Why don't you own a mirror, or maybe you do, use it from time to time, dust it off a little bit and look in it. You are responsible for these guys getting this close. And how? When you look at it, countries are made of people. And the people have, so that means countries have the same psychologies as the people. So in a relationship, be it a friendship relationship or at school or however relationship you want to consider it, if one person becomes abusive, the other one wants to get out and wants to associate itself with someone else in order to block this bully boy from abusing. So that's exactly what happened. So the wrong technique used by Al Capone was too abusing. Thought that it's my time after 1991 and I'm going to be the boss forever. Remember the American century, right? And it's not so. It's not so because they were too focused on their little garbage here. And the other guys, like China, Russia, and many other countries said, whoa, these guys can bombard Yugoslavia whenever they want, just because. Oh, these guys can invade Iraq, Afghanistan. Oh, these guys can take care of Gaddafi in Libya. What was Libya doing right now? Better off than before Gaddafi? Or when it was Gaddafi, or worse off? Oh, Syria. Now Iran. And they say, well, like this, the bully boy is escalating his activities. And now we have Russia. So they're right there. So they said, we gotta do something. And they did. These 2 guys got too much together. And now they get North Korea, they got Iran, they got probably India, they got many other countries, but they don't actually need too many to defend themselves. These guys have resources, these guys have the manpower, including the market, and you have the technology together, and you have the nuclear weapons. So bye-bye. All right, let's go to the next one. China ready to strengthen cooperation with North Korea. Xi Jinping. There you have them. Who brought these guys together? Putin or Al Capone's actions? I think Al Capone's actions. China announces joint naval air drills with Russia. All this where we are very concerned about, what's going on over there with Zelensky Stein. We are owned by a clique that will drown us, will drag us into the deep waters, and we're going to suffocate over there. And then they will be very happy and they will try to move on. That's what they do. Like pest, like fleas. The fleas go, they get everything dirty, and then after the organism dies, they move to the next one. What's going to be the next one? Russia? Putin is going to, like he already did. That's why they're after Putin, because he kicked them out. They were in charge since 1918 in Soviet Union, let's put this way. And then they started paying back the Tsarist Russia. And now the Russians are paying them back mildly. All right, let's go to the next article. Reuters, North Korean weapons extending Russian stockpiles, German general says. And by the way, this German general is right in respect to this claim that he makes. He says that Chief Defense General Karsten Brauer said Russian President Vladimir Putin would not have reached out to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un for weapons if they were not useful. So this guy, I'm assuming, is going to be fired, or is going to... Why? Because he already attributed this madman, illogical, evil man Putin logic and intelligence, because it's logical that if they don't work, I'm not going to get them. That means he has the minimum understanding of, hey, do they work? And the general is confirming, contradicting the Ukrainians' reports that actually and Americans' reports that the North Koreans' weapons don't work, the missiles don't work, it's just faulty. And this guy says no, they work. Again, I suspect again Breuer, Karsten. I wait for him to be fired, or to just mea culpa and then fired, because this is the way this clique does. They put pressure on you, you apologize, and after you apologize, then they fire you. So you're fucked and your money is taken. Like you go to a lady of the night, she gets, and you take her money as well. You don't pay her. The same here. So never apologize, because they will sack you anyway. So why don't you get sacked, and you get sacked with character, with your straight, instead of like a little slave over there begging for forgiveness. You're not gonna get forgiveness, and you're gonna be hanged as well. So why would you do that? No, you get hanged proud. At least that's all you can do. Kremlin on report of missile supplies from Iran, says Tehran is its partner. Again, you have North Korea, you have Iran. It was a report coming from Wall Street Journal, I think 2 days ago, where they said that the report says that Iran gave Russia missiles, ballistic missiles. And the Kremlin, Peskov says, we are partners. We cooperate in many, many ways. He doesn't confirm, he doesn't deny. Is a psychological warfare? Could be. And again, this guy said the Iranian missiles don't work, are bad. But then they said the Shahed drones are fantastic. Now, which one is it? I think they're good. I mean, given the fact that they're actively involved in Ukraine war, must be. Look at this. And they choose the same picture to show you how. Look at this funny guy, right? The Kremlin asked on Monday about the Wall Street Journal report that Iran has sent short-range ballistic missiles to Russia, said that Iran is Russia's partner, and that the two countries are developing dialogue in all areas. And I'm quoting, Iran is our important partner. We are developing our trade and economic relations. We are developing our cooperation and dialogue in all possible areas, including the most sensitive ones. And I'll beat it and get back to your pronouns, Peskov told reports. Reports of Iran's transferring missiles to Russia are, quote-unquote, psychological warfare, senior Revolutionary Guards commander, said on Monday, according to state media. Any Iranian transfer of ballistic missiles to Russia would mark a sharp escalation in the Ukraine war, the United States said on Friday. Now, that's hypocritical, don't you think? You send everything, but supposedly you're not involved in it, nuclear weapons to Ukraine, and that was not an escalation. But these guys, there's an escalation. So that means if a relative of mine that I love, let's say, commits a crime, let's say rapes someone, I would not consider that as such because he's my friend. But if your relative does the same thing that my relative did, then yours, I will call you the way it is. The same action done by the same individual, it's called the same escalation. It's not called escalation only if my enemy. So this is baboonish kindergarten psychology. This is baboonish, but this is how they are treating us as baboons. No, my dear, this was an escalation from the very beginning. The first bullet the Westerners, partners, gave Ukraine, that was a declaration of war. That's I would have taken it as if I were Russian. And you know, in the first 3 weeks or 4 weeks after the collapse of Istanbul peace talks or whatever that was, negotiations, if these guys did it, I will just finish it in 3 weeks. Everything will be either or. It's not going to be in between. How many people die, how many pop, our production, their production. No. Or maybe that was the good reason for these guys to do what they're doing right now. Breaking the world into 30-some countries and 150 other ones. All right, let's go to the next article. And this it's another confirmation from Sputnik. Kremlin on reports of Iran allegedly supplying missiles. Such information not always true. So is the same. Is yes, no, let it be. Sputnik. Representatives from Afghanistan, China, and Africa attend Eastern Economic Forum's plenary session. So China is able to put together Africa plus Afghanistan that Americans attacked, destroyed, and then they left. So Afghanistan is going to be on China and Russia's payroll. Remember, where is that? Not that, right here. You see, these guys are all together. And then on top of that, you have all these guys. So there were about 50 countries from Africa, 50 representatives from Africa attending this plenary, this summit. What does that tell you? Now, Putin is with Malaysian Prime Minister, Chinese, pop. These guys are moving ahead, my friends. These guys, the rest of the world is moving ahead while these guys are trying to conserve and keep their little hegemony that they have, which is part of North America, part of Europe, and a little bit in East Asia. That's it. They try to conserve it. They can't expand. Why? Because the other countries are aware of the 4 methods used by the bully boy. And the thing is, these guys are growing, and these guys are just like being destroyed with I can identify as, you are this, you are Seno, you are this and that, you are East. They are concerned with this garbage. And our culture suffers, our logic, our level of intellect. Let me show you something else. Here, this is a video I made on July 19, 2023. Africa joins Russia. 49 African countries leaders to travel to St. Petersburg. It was a Russia-Africa summit and so on. So, have you seen this United States of America? China does the same thing with 50-some leaders. Who's isolated? Who isolated itself? Now, I don't like what's going on here. I mean, maybe it's good because before it gets good, it has to go bad, right? Well, the problem is it's going to get bad for us. And then we die, and then probably in a few 100 years it's going to get better. But hey, I don't even think that our children will have a chance to go back to at least what we were in 1950s or 60s. I don't think so. Why? The garbage coming from many areas, so-called schools and ideologies, destroyed our culture, our soul. If you don't have a soul, if you don't know who you are anymore, and you can be whatever you want, which is imbecilic, then talk to the Frankfurt School. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, do a little searches and you find out. So once you're infected with an ideology that will destroy your soul, You have to work on yourself, like a doctor works as a patient works on himself, or you need someone else to come in and help. We'll see, friends. But as I said, we are going down, or at least we're descending in the, I don't want to say dark ages, murky ages of our civilization. Again, dragged by the same clique that has a little big resentment, historical resentment on us. After all, they blame everybody else. So your time will come if we are in Russia, and they think is right now. And the other guys, they're expanding their relationship. When was the last summit that you saw in the United States of America? International summit. You saw the summit of democracies, because we're a little bit different. And the same guys, you saw the Americas, the summit of Americas in California, with a few countries showing up over there, some of them boycotting them. We do, but we don't do. And when you go to the United Nations, we veto resolutions that would possibly help peace and stability. Why? Because let's don't include us. They are not honest. And they don't have to be. Why? Because they're strong. And when you're strong, you don't have to be honest. You don't have to be fair. You just take it. Like the lion on the savannah. You just show up and take whatever the lioness killed, a buffalo. You just take it. Why? You're strong and lazy. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.